Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, France. An idyllic little medieval village, 1,000 years in the making. Located in the Pyrenees Mountains near the border of Spain, the views certainly did not disappoint. It's been the starting point of the Camino de Santiago for thousands of pilgrims every year, and it was mine. The hotel I spent the night in has been in the same family for generations. My room had a bathroom with a shower, which might be strange to hear for American ears, but not typical for Europe. The views from the balcony were amazing. The hotel was a 3-story structure and I was on the top floor. It had a dining room that served breakfast and dinner. It was located in the center of town, which made exploring the town a joy. As I walked the cobblestone streets, my mind drifted back to the medieval times, and I wondered who had walked in the same steps I'm now walking, only 100 years before me. The anticipation and excitement of the Camino was now a reality, and my mind was spinning in 100 different directions. As I explored the city that day, I walked over a bridge. I looked in the water and saw staring back at me an older gentleman. It was me. I barely recognized him. Where had the time gone? I'm cruelly aware that as I get older, life keeps taking things away. But it's not what life takes away from you that counts. It's what you do with what you have left. Which made me wonder, what did God have in store for me? I eventually made my way to the Pilgrims' headquarters to get my Pilgrim's passport. The passport allows pilgrims to stay in low-cost housing along the Camino. It's also necessary for getting celos, Spanish for stamps, which proved you walked the Camino. There were signs of the Camino everywhere I went in the village, reminding me of why I was here. I spent the remainder of the day exploring, dining, and preparing for what lay ahead. You couldn't ask for better weather as I drove to Valcarlos the next day. The mountains were amazing. Every city and village in Basque country has 2 names, one in Spanish, one in Basque. The apartment in Valcarlos was everything I had dreamed it would be. It had every amenity, even a washing machine. The next day I drove to Roncesvalles, where I'd spend the night. On the way I passed many pilgrims. There was a storm brewing all day and night, with wind gusts of 70 miles an hour. Thankfully, by morning, it had run its course. Roncesvalles, also known as the Valley of Thorns, has been the starting point of the Camino for Spaniards since the 12th century. Even today, one judicial agency offers the opportunity to walk the Camino as a way of purging the offender of their misdeeds in lieu of a custodial sentence. The hotel I spent the night in was rebuilt in 1725 after snow collapsed its original structure. We painted 4 sets of memorial stones before our departure. They were to be placed at various places along the Camino. Roncesvalles was the first placement. Today I drive to Pamplona to return the car and spend some time in the city made famous by Hemingway and the running of the bulls. The weather was perfect, there was very little traffic, and who doesn't love practicing their racing skills on S-curves in the mountains? The roads have been here for hundreds of years and were made for horse and buggy, so driving on them with a car could get a little dicey at times. Pamplona, with a population of 200,000, is a vibrant university city that retains its close historical connection with the Camino. The city is made up of two sections, the Old Town, where I stayed and home of the running of the bulls, and the New, which surrounds the Old. Once a year from the 6th of July to the 14th, the city goes wild. They host the best known fiesta in Spain, the San Fermin, the running of the bulls, made famous by Hemingway's novel The Sun Also Rises, which was published in 1926. During the week of the fiesta, bulls are released every morning to test the courage of young men from all over the world. The running of the bulls ends at the Plaza de Toros, bullfighting arena. Tomorrow the walking begins, but not before I spend the night with 180 other pilgrims at the Jesus y Maria albergue at the expense of €7. After walking all day, I was never so happy to see a bed as I was in Utirka, where I spent the night. The next morning I started walking, 'cause that's what pilgrims do.
Everybody's talking at me.
Walking the Camino today.
I don't hear words they're saying,
ready to go.
only the echoes of my mind. People stopping still, I can't see their faces, only the shadows of their eyes. I'm going where the sun keeps shining through the pouring rain, going where the weather suits my clothes, banking off of the northeast winds, sailing on summer breeze, and skipping over the ocean like a stone.
A typical day for me on the Camino looked something like this. Get up at 6 a.m., eat a piece of fruit, and start walking. While walking, I'd meet other pilgrims from all over the world. As I walked, I would keep an eye open for a mercado or a bar where I could obtain water or tapas. I usually walked 10 to 25 kilometers a day, and when I had reached my walking limit for the day, I started looking for an albergue where I would shower, wash my clothes, eat, and sleep. There was always time to talk to other pilgrims, but lights were usually out by 10 p.m. The city Puente la Reina receives its name from the bridge built by the Queen in the 11th century for the pilgrims on the Camino. Puente la Reina literally means Queen's Bridge. Here pilgrims can receive free wine and free water. One of the many storks that adorn church steeples all over Spain. one of the many oddities of the Camino. Wherever you go, there you are.
You don't know what it means to win. Come down and see me again. Been down one time, been down two times. Never going back again.
Circle was home to my favorite albergue on the entire Camino, and the standard by which I judged all others that would follow. After a great dinner, wonderful fellowship, and a restful sleep, it was icing on the cake to wake to a rainbow. Every hill became a little struggle, a step forward. I realized the struggle was not found on the path, it was the path, and it was so worth it. There are 3 sanctioned ways to do the Camino: walk it, ride a bicycle, or ride a horse. This man brought his donkey. The blister on the bottom of my right foot was covering half my foot. The blisters on my left foot were on top of my toes. I was about to lose the toenail of the second toe. I'd been on the go for 3 weeks without a break. I decided I needed to take a couple days off. I spent 2 days walking as little as possible and airing my feet and praying. It worked. Walking after that only got better every day. The town of Sarria. 8 more days and I'll be in Santiago de Compostela. By now I'm used to the silent routine of the Camino. I actually love the silence. My soul craves it. Mother Teresa once said we need to find God, and He can't be found in noise. God is the friend of silence. She said, see how nature, the trees, the flowers and grass, They all grow in silence. See the stars, the moon, the sun. They all move in silence. We need the silence for God to be able to touch our souls. The ground we walked upon was as unpredictable as the weather, but there was always one thing we could count upon: that yellow arrow. Like the Word of God, it was always pointing us in the right direction. Every day I would encounter someone that would put a huge smile on my face. Today it was Rocky. The splendor of God's creation kept me in awe. The Camino always kept me on my toes. So many things to see, so many things to experience. You never knew what you might find around the next curve in the path. Free fruit and drinks. The Camino is like life. Every day there are hills to climb. Some days life throws down a gauntlet and tests your abilities, demanding your best. The Camino never ceased to amaze me. I had my very own running of the cows. When in doubt, always follow the yellow arrow. There are three things you'll be asked while walking the Camino. What is your name? Where are you from? And why are you walking the Camino? The first two questions are easy. The third, not so much. Why did I walk the Camino? My Spanish answer to that question was this: Porque todo lo que hay dentro de mí necesita ser cambiado. Porque todo lo que hay dentro de mi corazón necesita más de ti. Cristo, yo te amo. No hay nadie como tú, Jesús. My English answer was this: I go because all that is within me needs to be changed. I go because all that is within my heart needs the Lord. Cristo, yo te amo. I love you, Lord. No hay nadie como tú, Jesús. No one compares to you, Jesus. I got emotional as I placed the second set of memorial stones. I miss everyone each stone represents, and I think about that day when we'll meet again. Tomorrow I'll be in Santiago. My feet say they're ready for this to end, but my heart says no. I'm not ready for this to be over. Not yet. I arrived in Santiago by mid-afternoon and checked into my hotel. I then walked to the pilgrims' headquarters, filled out a questionnaire why I made the pilgrimage, and presented my pilgrim's passport as proof of the journey. I was then given my Compostela. Each stamp on the passport represents a memory, an experience I'll never forget. I can't describe my emotions. There in front of me was one of my goals. The first church was built in the year 829, but was reduced to ashes in the year 997 by the Muslims. Construction for the present cathedral began in 1075, and the cathedral was consecrated in the year 1211. The remainder of the evening was dedicated to greeting people I had met on the Camino over the past 5 weeks. I got up early the next day and spent the morning and afternoon in the cathedral. I was going over past events and preparing myself for the Pilgrim's Mass that would begin at noon. While sitting quietly in one of the pews, I felt a tap on my shoulder. To my surprise, it was a man from Norway I'd met 2 weeks earlier. We attended the Mass together. entrance to the cathedral was now the main entrance due to the renovation being done to the front. I spent an hour in the plaza in front of the cathedral watching pilgrims' reaction as they got their first glimpse of the church. The plaza was a reunion area for family and other pilgrims you'd met along the Camino. It was also a place to reflect on what you had just accomplished.
Long ago, far away, life was clear. Close your eyes. Remember is a place from long ago. Remember, filled with everything you know. Remember, when you're sad and feeling down. Remember, turn around. Remember, life is just a memory. Remember, close your eyes and you can see. Remember, think of all that life can be. Remember, dream, love is only in a dream. Remember, remember, life is
It was nice to be greeted by musicians as you went through the main tunnel to the plaza in the front of the cathedral.
I just love Jesus.
Placement of the third set of memorial stones was in a garden near the cathedral. I liberated the fourth and final set of memorial stones from the same spot Martin Sheen stood in the movie The Way. I took my time, prayed over each stone, and then threw it into the ocean. Finisterre, in Roman times thought to be the end of the earth. The name Finisterre literally means end of the earth. If a pilgrim makes it this far, they customarily burn an article of clothing in the burning pit, which represents shedding the old and beginning anew.
Where the sun never goes out and the sky is deep and blue, won't you take me there with you? Ooh, we can begin again. Shed our skin, let the sun shine in. At the edge of the ocean, we can start over again. There's a world I've always known, somewhere far away from home. When I close my eyes, I see all the space and the mystery. Ooh, we can begin again. Share our skin, let the sun shine in.
Every
At the edge of the
made by one
ocean,
river.
we
One
can
river
start
says hello buddy. The river
again.
ends there on the right. It's the Camino River. It's a mixture between gold and red. But the most typical thing, or one of the most striking things of these low estuaries of Galicia are the one we will see now after the curve. Those platforms, those are mussel farms. Not only mussel farms, the oyster and scallop farms. All these low estuaries are full of them. These are the estuaries left mussel farms in Galicia. But the one behind those mountains on the right, there is the one that are 2,292.
Edge of the ocean, we can
The
start
smallest one of Galicia
over
produces